property industry, traditionally auctions have been a place for investors to buy and sell properties and for banks and mortgagees to sell properties that they repossess. I created Lot 11 because I saw the frustrations from my clients of, for example, having to spend all day in an auction room waiting for a lot to come up when it transpired in the end that the lot was withdrawn. So they were wasting an enormous amount of time at an auction room where they could be doing business.
The world we're living in is changing dramatically, and this is closely linked to advancements in technology. You'll be hard-pressed to think of one industry that has not been disrupted by either the internet, mobile technology, or of course a combination of the two. The world we're living in is getting unquestionably smaller, and we are forever expecting life to happen more efficiently in both time and money. The property industry is no different. Over the last 10 years or more, technology has changed the way we check inventories, keep track of records, and with the coming of age of online estate agencies, people are now starting to think laterally about the methods by which properties can be sold. Daniel Zeisblad is a former property lawyer. He struggled with simply accepting that the way we currently market and transact our properties as being the best way we could. Out of his frustration, he created Lot 11, the online auction platform.
I think a lot of people in today's housing market in particular are very, very frustrated, certainly in my time as an agent, as to why things take so long. Why does it take 6 weeks to get the mortgage approved? It's inconvenient. I think if you're a family in particular, this was one of the things that used to come up quite regularly when I was an agent, was the viewings. So if you're a busy mother, for example, with kids, and you've got an estate agent coming around, you've got to fuss and tidy the house up and make sure everything's put away and it looks good, etc. With us, we have viewings 2 weeks before the actual auction takes place itself at premeditated times. You know exactly when you've got to have the property ready. So it's much more convenient. It's certain, because if you are buying or selling property through an auction, you make a successful bid, you're not going to get gazumped or gazundered. So people buy into it more for certainty, but also for the surety of the sale or the purchase.
Of course, the way the public more frequently buy and sell property is in fact similar, offering a price and having it accepted. So what exactly is the difference between a property being sold at auction and a property being sold by an estate agent?
Primarily the difference is in the method of sale. So estate agents use something called private treaty. They invite offers over a period of time until one eventually gets accepted by the person selling the house. You then go through a whole process of getting it surveyed, mortgage valuation unless you're a cash buyer. You may want to get plans drawn up if you're looking to do some form of work on the building itself, and it can be quite a long process. The beauty of Lot 11 and what we do is that the actual transaction time is much, much shorter. So I think Rightmove's recent statistics have said that through a private treaty method, a typical property is on the market for 70 days. With us, it's a matter of somebody putting in the right offer in the auction, agreeing the price literally on the day within a space of 10 minutes. You exchange contracts pretty much there and then. Deposit monies gets moved across within 48 hours, and you complete typically within sort of 4 weeks. So it's a very, very quick, fluid process.
Lot 11 is the online property auctioneer, and we are disrupting the traditional auction method of buying and selling properties. We are enabling people to buy and sell properties online quickly and conveniently.
Of course, when a company enters the market aiming to use the internet to change the way the industry works, some members of the general public can be concerned that the level of customer service may not be high, or be worried about security. These concerns are something that Lot 11 are actively combating, leading by example especially.
Unlike traditional auction houses, we actually conduct all the viewings ourselves. We're very hands-on, so you can rely, on the fact that it will be a member of our team conducting the viewing, somebody who's familiar with the property and who'll be able to sell it and answer all the client's questions.
Well, security and confidentiality are very important to Lot 11. Through thorough testing, we've managed to utilise the latest security system and incorporate it onto the bid engine. We've designed it to offer anonymity to both buyers and sellers should they wish to utilise it. However, all information is displayed clearly for everyone to see.
Being an online platform brings a huge advantage for Lot 11 in that it is accessible 24/7 worldwide. This does two things. Firstly, it creates an opportunity for UK residents to bid on property from the convenience of their home, or their hotel, or their holiday home when abroad. It also means that any individuals outside of the UK are also able to invest in UK property.
At the moment we're implementing live chats, which will be 24/7, so whatever time of day somebody has a question, we'll be able to answer it. Another great thing that we're doing is we're implementing virtual tours for all of the properties that we list. This means wherever you are in the world, you can have a look at the property without having to come all the way down to the site itself. It just makes it so much more accessible.
Well, because we're online, we've had customers from all over the world, and different types of customers as well, from investors to end users to people who need to sell quickly, and the feedback that we've had has been terrific. They found the site very easy to use, very secure, very convenient, very interactive, and the customer journey has been terrific.
From very, very humble small beginnings, our growth has actually been quite extraordinary. Our first auction in November had participants from 22 countries globally. March was somewhere in the region of over 50, and the most recent auction in June was over 100. So without doing any real advertising or PR work, there seems to be this viral story taking place where people are buying into us and we're getting more and more recognition, not just through the general public, but through our peers professionally as well.
These are very impressive statistics for such a young company. It's clear that Lot 11 have their eyes firmly on the international market as well as the UK.
If a buyer wants to buy a property in auction, it's really easy with us. All they need to do is go onto our website and find a property that they like. And once they've chosen a property that they like, they simply need to register on our website, which will enable them to look at all the photos, the floor plans and documentation relating to the property. We're then on hand to help guide them through the process to enable them to be in a position where they can bid on that property.
So let's take a look at an auction. For the purposes of this program, we're using a dummy auction that demonstrates how you can interact with the auction dashboard, which can be found on the Lot 11 website. The auction process has been carefully developed to be interactive and engaging, designed to mimic the simplistic layout of a car dashboard, yet to display all the information necessary in a colourful way. You'll notice that every action that is taken affects the colour scheme, ensuring the user is fully aware of the action he or she is taking. The auction also utilises a double-click mechanism to ensure no mistake bids are made. Once we get down below a minute, the clock resets to the top of the circle to recreate the need for some urgency, and after that, once we reach the 10-second mark, the whole dashboard turns red. Fortunately for this user, they won the auction. So why would someone choose Lot 11 over a more established or traditional style of auction? Max, one of Lot 11's sales executives, is on hand to explain a number of the benefits.
Lot 11's auction specifically is very time efficient for the seller due to the fact they can hold an auction whenever they like. With a traditional auction, you normally have about a 3-month gap. So if you miss their auction and you want to sell straight away, you're going to have to wait, or you may have to go down the route of an estate agent. With Lot 11 being online, you can pick and choose whichever day worked for you as a seller. We could do an auction on that day. There's massive benefits with Lot 11 in terms of cash flow for the seller. We get the deposit sent to the seller's solicitor within 48 hours. It will be in their account. When you go to use a traditional auction, you'll be looking at a minimum of 10 days and anywhere up to 14 to receive that money. So in terms of cash flow and being able to move on to other projects, it's massively beneficial.
As Lot 11 is online, we've been invited to see all different types of properties, unlike a traditional auction house which would specialise maybe in a commercial property or residential property. We've seen anything from residential houses to shops and uppers to churches, golf courses. We really do take on any property and are able to sell any property.
Let's take a look at some of the properties that have already sold on the Lot 11 platform. Oakfield Road, Walthamstow was a vacant freehold industrial warehouse building in a residential neighbourhood without planning permission. It was marketed for just under a month, with a guide price of £1.4 million, but sold with Lot 11 for some £2,368,000, just a little under a staggering £1 million more. Green Lane's Palmer's Green is a two-bedroom first-floor flat located on a busy high street. It's surrounded by many local amenities from banks to bars. The guide price was set at £150,000, but it sold for £215,000 after around 35 days of marketing. Lot 11 have also successfully sold land, such as this piece in Stoke Newington with planning permission for 2 houses. It was marketed for only 15 days with a guide price of £450,000, but sold for £600,000. That's 30% more. And so the story of Lot 11 continues.
Okay, so some people might laugh at this, but our plan, if you like, vision for the future is to get a greater share of the marketplace and roll out our product to a lot more people, engage with the general public a lot more. And we were at a PropTech or Property Technology convention quite recently, and a lot of these online agents were already there, and they were sort of noted as being disruptors because they've sort of taken the existing business model of estate agents and they've transformed it to being online. We are online as well, however our process is much quicker than the online agents, so in actual fact we're disrupting the disruptors, and it's a phrase that's stuck. And when I'm out in conversations with people, they get it. I mean, it's quite interesting the way the market's moved in that direction, that people are becoming more technology advanced, more embracing technology to move this whole process forward much quicker, saving a lot of time and a lot of costs. And it's a moniker, to be honest, we quite like.
Lot 11 sold.